All initial opinions are this is genuine. What you're about to see may disturb you.
Hi, you're being totally respectful by asking how do you use them, and it's very fine. Thank you very much for asking. I'm really thankful and touched by that. These are pronouns that I made myself. They come from the word ampota because why not? But it could also come from amplifier if you want it to be. Also, if you want to use these pronouns, go ahead, free range. I'll just make comparison with sentences because I forgot most of my English lessons. I forgot what kind of pronouns are these. Let's say he is here. Amp is here. The rumor started from him, right? The rumor started from amps, right? Yeah, it was his car. Yeah, it was Amp's car. He brought this upon himself. Amps brought it upon Ampself.
What the fuck does that even mean?
The land of make-believe.
And we are back. It's that time again. We're back. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you're all having an amazing day. And wow, is there a lot going on out there. Sometimes the news cycles slow down a little bit. Sometimes they speed up. Right now, things have sped up. People are going nuts. People are losing their minds. And we're going to touch on a couple of those crazy stories going on out there. And of course, you know, I would not deprive you guys of your daily dose of brain decay in this episode of Epic Woke TikTok Fails.
TikTok is degenerate trash. Correct.
Everything woke turns to shit, okay?
So true. Look at the first clip we just had. That person wasn't speaking English. That was in the normal, regular world that we all live in. That's not accepted. However, in the land of make-believe where they live, it's okay. It's perfect. It's newspeak. Anyway, in case you haven't noticed on the screen here, this has to do with the abortion ban or the abortion thing that's going on in Texas with the 6-week. I don't know the ins and outs of it. I'm not going to get into it. However, we've got a sit-in, a lay-in here. There's a person laying on the ground holding a sign. For the people in the back that can't see it and are blind listeners here, I will read the sign. It says, "I'm on strike. No choice for me, question mark. No sex for him, exclamation point."
Oh my God, look at that whale.
All right, I guess, thank you for leaving the guys out of it. I'm sure there are a whole lot of very disappointed men out there because they saw you holding that sign laying there on the ground. So anyway, thank you guys so much for coming back. Like I said, we got a lot to go over today. Before we jump into it, I just want to give a big shout out to the sponsor of today's video. Today's video is brought to you by Bear Cook. Bear, thank you so much for sponsoring today's video, sir. I appreciate that. Like I said, you guys are keeping this ship afloat as the YouTube's overlords try to sink us. So thank you all so much. Thank you once again, Bear, for sponsoring today's video. If you would like to sponsor the next video, there's a PayPal link in the description box below. And I will read your full name unless stated otherwise by you. Bear wanted me to go by Bear, so that's how we roll. Once again, thank you guys. And thank all of you guys for all the engagement. I know I say it every video, but it's just the comments, the thumbs up, the share, all that stuff's just amazing. So you guys are all the support I could ever ask for. Also, if you're interested in checking out Flip City magazine, I've been talking about that a little bit lately. Awesome magazine. It's like the new age Mad magazine or cracked magazine from back in the day with a political spin on it. They're on the front lines fighting the war against the woke culture as well. So check that out there. A link will be to their website in the description box as well. And if you're new to the channel, Join this amazing community. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it. We'll start it off with our teacher feature for the day, and he will be included in the next teacher feature episode. I can't read what that comment says. Ugh, God, teachers. Roll the film, please.
I made a comment on one of Miss April's recent videos about PBIS, in which I stated that PBIS is white supremacy with the hug, and a lot of y'all wanted to know more about that, so here we go. First of all, thank you to Jack Copa, who reminded me that Dina Simmons was the first to coin this term, so thank you, Jack, so much. So if PBIS concerns itself with positive behaviors, we have to ask ourselves, okay, well, what are those positive behaviors? And it's things like making sure that you're following directions and making sure that you're sitting quietly and you are in your seat and all these things that come from white culture. The idea of just sitting quiet and being told stuff and taking things in a passive stance is not a thing that's in with many cultures. So if we're positively enforcing these behaviors, we are by extension positively enforcing elements of white culture, which therefore keeps whiteness at the center, which is the definition of white supremacy.
Well, I guess I'm racist. What an idiot.
Wow. Wow. So, real quick, just in case you guys don't know, he said PBIS. So, PBIS, I had to look it up. It's Positive Behavioral Interventions and Supports. And basically, it's just, it's a framework to improve and integrate a bunch of practices affecting student outcomes in classrooms and things like that. Basically how students behave in the classrooms if they're being disruptive or if they're sitting there paying attention like they're supposed to, So, I'm not sure what this person's point is. So, are all the non-white students supposed to just stand on top of their desks and throw books at each other? Why? I don't know. Let's keep it moving. All right, let's do one more of this teacher feature and just ask yourself, is this the person we want educating and molding the minds of our children? I'm pretty sure you know the answer already. Roll the film, please.
I want to remind educators that instances of police brutality and the murders of black and brown people by police officers is directly connected to the work that we do. Because if any of those people had been white, chances are they wouldn't have been murdered. Chances are they wouldn't have been brutalized. And if you don't believe me, just take a look at all the instances of white people, especially white men, who oftentimes are brandishing weapons and who are taken into custody alive. So much of this is wrapped up in implicit bias, and we have incredible power to change people's biases when they are young. We have to be talking about these issues in schools because every bit of it impacts our work. The ways in which we teach, the ways in which we interact with students, the practices and policies we have, the ways in which they're implemented. There's so much. And many of us are talking about this, and many of us are making these changes, but not enough of us are.
Talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis?
You must have got manure for your brains.
Oh, you are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Oh my God. Oh. It's what it is. It's activists taking the roles as teachers to make more activists. It says on the screen is directly connected to the work that we do. No, it's not. Let me bring up one thing real quick. So with the whole George Floyd thing, the prosecutor was asked in an interview after the trial was said and done, why didn't you try to prosecute Officer Derek Chauvin, charge him with a hate crime and prosecute him for a hate crime? The prosecutor in that case, super woke prosecutor, said, well, there was no evidence of any hate crime. There was no evidence at all that it had anything to do with color. From the words of the prosecutor. Hence, the whole trial never mentioned color. Moving right along. Next up, I'm going with Things That Never Happened for 1,000. Please, Alex, on the Daily Double. Roll the film, please.
So I live on the south side of Chicago, and for those of you who are not familiar with Chicago, I live in a predominantly black area. And since coming out as non-binary, I have faced this conundrum that I'm still trying to figure out. So whenever black men see me, they always, and this has not failed a single time, they always call me brother. And sometimes they'll step back and they will just straight up ask me, do you want me to call you brother or do you want me to call you sister? And I will tell them, and they will go on respecting what I have just told them. And this just boggles my mind because white folks, I don't know what it is. I can introduce myself. I can tell them my pronouns. I can tell them how I want to be identified. And they will just go on fucking up even after I've corrected them multiple times. I don't know what the magic is that black men possess that they can just see my identity and they respect it. But it makes me feel so seen and safe and respected. So we got to spread that shit to the rest of the world.
It's a man, baby!
Well, I thought she was a man. It meant she is rather mannish. If that is a woman, it does look like she was beaten with an ugly stick.
What? Just listen to this.
So whenever black men see me, they always, and this has not failed a single time, they always call me brother. And sometimes they'll step back and they will just straight up ask me, do you want me to call you brother or do you want me to call you sister? And I will tell them, and they will go on respecting what I have just told them.
Not buying it. Do you think people like this care about what this person wants to be called?
I get it how I live, you hear me? I take what I want, you hear me? But leave that, you hear me? If you don't want to give it to me, you hear me? And I'm trying to do the right thing, you hear me?
I don't think these fine, upstanding young men really care what that person wants to be called, but that's just me. I could be way out on a limb. I'm still going with Things That Never Happened for 1,000. Alex, please, moving right along. All right, next up, we have a devout watcher of CNN. I'm pretty sure. Roll the film, please.
Hi, just a quick question for all my anti-vaxxer friends out there. If my kid can't bring in a peanut butter and jelly sandwich because your kid is deathly allergic to it, why can your child bring in a preventable disease? Asking for a friend.
Lady, shut up!
That is without a doubt the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You are a fucking idiot.
Sorry, lady. I don't know. Apparently she's... when people talk like this, I feel like they just watch CNN and MSNBC and don't do any independent research on what's really going on. I'll leave that there. Moving right along. So I saw this picture on Twitter. I don't know if it's from the Video Music Awards, which it turned out just to be woke garbage, debauch. It's disgusting. Or from the Met Gala they just had, which is like the real life Hunger Games. It says, when you borrow your dad's clothes, when you borrow your dad's work clothes for a job interview.
Dad, I need to borrow some clothes for the interviews because I don't have any fancy clothes.
You go to my closet, you take whatever you need. You too, Brennan. You guys got to look sharp.
That's all I could think of when I saw this post. When you borrow your dad's work clothes for a job. So then I'm like, okay, who's this dude? And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. You guys know who that is? Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you guessed the pregnant girl from the movie Juno, you were absolutely right. You hit the nail on the head.
Wait, whoa! What the f?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking too. Oh, boy. I'm not going to cover any of the MTV Video Music Awards. There's other channels that it was just complete and utter garbage, like it has been for the past few years, as well as this Met Gala where it's like $30,000 to get in, a couple $100,000 a plate, and people are dressed like the Hunger Games, and AOC's got to tax the rich dress. It's really bizarre stuff. I'm not even going to go there. So I don't know if this was taken there or not, but honestly, who cares? Let's keep it moving. We've got some Twitter battles going on. This is crazy. First of all, you got Howard Stern. This isn't that story. Howard Stern's crapping all over Joe Rogan, making fun of Joe Rogan because he took the Mectin. He was better in 3 to 4 days, but didn't get the shot. So Howard Stern's giving Joe Rogan a bunch of crap for that. So it's just bizarre. That's so bizarre. Why would Howard Stern say a thing like Joe Rogan tested negative within 4 or 5 days? He was working out, within the week. These people have lost it. They're insane. These people are insane. Okay, on the screen, Tim Dillon, who's a funny comedian. He's got a podcast on the YouTubes. I like Tim Dillon. He's pretty funny. Him and Tim Pool are going at it. It's the battle of the Tims. So Tim Dillon, I guess, has been performing in places in New York and other places that have shot requirements. You can't get in if you don't have the shot. Tim Dillon's been taking a lot of heat for it. And he's been saying, look, this isn't my mandate. It's the place where I'm performance mandate. So Tim Pool, he didn't like that at all. He actually made a video about it, about Tim Dillon and Joe Rogan, how they should stop going to perform at places that have these mandates. If they stand up against them, stop performing at them. And you know what? I don't disagree with Tim Pool on that one. If people like Tim Dillon and Joe Rogan and these other comedians and performance art, whoever it is, performers, if they say, well, we don't like the mandates, but whatever, we're going to go do our thing anyway, they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. If you keep complying and just, well, whatever, because the performers don't need the shot. Joe Rogan doesn't have the shot. Tim Dillon does. Joe Rogan doesn't. Actually, Tim Dillon has it. Still got the coof, and don't think he ended up in a hospital, but he still gets sick. Joe Rogan doesn't have the shot. He's still allowed to go perform Madison Square Garden and places like that. It's just us little plebes that try to go in to watch it. We can't go in if we don't have it. So Tim Dillon says, first off, take off the beanie. We know you're bald. Wow, is anybody really shocked that he's bald under there? I mean, I don't really know what that has to do with anything, though, Tim Dillon, but whatever. That you dig. All right. Secondly, I'm not canceling half of my tour because people in those states largely agree with something I disagree with. I put out a podcast for free they can listen to, or they can see me in state that doesn't require shot. And he was responding to Tim Pool. This is what Tim Pool had tweeted previously. In NYC, performers are exempt, medical issues are not. Sometimes it's good to be a wealthy elite, Tim, right? He's talking to Tim Dillon. No free passes either. What's up with @Joe Rogan at Madison Square Garden in NYC? You guys just gotta get on board with the shot mandates, no medical exemptions. It's a tough one, guys. It's a tough one. I don't disagree with Tim Pool. The only way to stop this is if we just all stop and say, no. We're not doing it. If you get these performers, these guys that have all the money, Joe Rogan, Tim Pool's filthy rich too. He doesn't have to worry about anything. That guy's filthy rich. Joe Rogan, he doesn't have to worry about performing at Madison Square Garden. It's not for the money for Joe Rogan. So it's not like he needs to do that to put food on the plate. He has food on the table for his family. Food on the plate. So he could say, no, Madison Square Garden, I disagree with the mandate, so I'm not going to perform there. I'll perform somewhere else, nearby or wherever, somewhere else. I don't know. It's tough. Tim Dillon, he says he's against the mandates. He thinks it's crazy. Rogan says he's against them. He thinks it's one step closer to a mini dictatorship. But these guys are still going to these places. Now Joe Rogan's offering refunds. Yes, Tim Dillon probably said, I don't know. That's tough. I don't disagree with Tim Pool on that, though. If we're all going to stand up against this stuff, we all got to stand up against it. Performers, the rich people, the elite, everybody. So anyway, Tim Dillon, Tim Pool, the battle of the Tims. Then you got Joe Rogan and Howard Stern's going to Joe Rogan. Like I said, things are getting crazy out there. All right, keep it moving. All right, listen, guys, if you made it this far, give yourselves a round of applause, a pat on the back. You guys know I can't do this alone, so thank you so much for trudging ahead with me. And once again, thank you so much for Bear Cook for sponsoring today's video. Today's video brought to you by Bear Cook. Listen, guys, so we all know there was a bunch of other things. Joe Biden, on his way to California, driving through California, there was in Idaho, there's TikToks and videos everywhere of him driving through these places and just getting heckled, just like we've seen at all the football stadiums, at all these concerts, just getting everywhere he goes. He's just getting heckled at the 9/11 ceremony. It's crazy. I was gonna play some clips, but it would have taken far too long. I'm going too longer than I wanted to anyway. But there are so many clips out there. I might put a montage of all the clips of these people heckling him. So this is him speaking at the recall election, which is happening today, I believe, right? California, get out and vote. Vote to recall Newsom and get somebody else, Larry Elder, in there. So this is Joe Biden speaking on behalf of Gavin Newsom in California. Let me get my melon out the way. Listen to this. Roll the film, please.
You'll go on, but here's the deal. I'm going to make this as simple as I can. You either keep Gavin Newsom as your governor, or you'll get Donald Trump. It's not a joke. Republican governor blocking progress on COVID-19, who was also anti-woman, anti-worker, a climate denier, who doesn't believe in choice. The choice should be absolutely clear. Gavin Newsom, you have a governor who has the courage to lead.
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Personally, I think you're a fucking idiot.
I don't know how they're still letting this guy speak. He started to say something about against choice, but he reeled that one in real quick because he remembered the mandates that he's trying to push through. I had another clip that I wanted to play. Maybe I'll do that on tomorrow's video. The White House feed cut him off again in a video he was doing. It happened a few months ago where he was in the middle of a speech and the White House just cut the feed. It happened again yesterday. He was talking. He went to ask some people questions that he was sitting around, and they just cut the feed on him again. Who's pulling the strings? Moving right along. All right, guys, we're going to end it on this one. It went a little long today. Ugh. This is a good one. Roll the film, please.
Fun fact, I was a New York City teaching fellow. For those of you not in the know, the New York City Teaching Fellows program is essentially like Teach for America. These programs reach out to folks who either weren't interested in being a teacher originally or they didn't have an ed degree, and then they get placed in hard-to-staff schools. Here are the issues. Some of these programs give stipend. My entire master's degree was paid for. I was the last cohort to have that. But people only had to commit to 2 years of teaching. And then they could bounce. And bounce they do. And the vast majority of people in these types of programs are white. Yes, there's data to support this. Particularly for Teach for America, a lot of their campaigns involved slogans that played off of white saviorism. Now, don't tell me putting an inexperienced white savior group of teachers in hard-to-staff schools is short-sighted, because it's not. It's intentional. How else do you keep the oppressed oppressed?
That's racism, man. I love to racism, bro.
That's racist!
Oh, it's so funny to me. It's not funny. It's sad to me that people like this, that all they do is talk about color, don't understand that they're the racists. Racist. All right. That's a wrap. And listen, once again, if you made it all the way to the end, I cannot do this alone. So thank you for trudging ahead with me. Once again, Bear, thank you for sponsoring today's video. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the greatest community on the YouTubes. And thank you guys so much for all the engagement. I couldn't ask for any more love and support. You guys are all amazing. Things are getting wild out there. Things are getting crazy. But, you know, I got your back. I know you guys got my back. So we're going to get through this together. Stay strong. Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. And in the words of the great George Washington, I'm pretty sure, stay strapped or get clapped. Till next time. Peace.